Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your English class, Unit-6, Brown Wolf, Part-1. Dear students, this lesson is written by Zach London. Zach London was an American author and journalist known for his adventure stories. He explored several regions and their cultures in his stories and wrote about life and death. His adventure stories are based on his own experiences at sea, in Alaska, and in the fields and factories of California. Now let's begin with the explanation of this lesson. Para number 1. They called him Wolf. In build and coat, he was a huge timber wolf. But in his color, he advertised himself as a dog. No wolf was ever colored like him. He was brown, deep brown, red brown, a mixture of browns. And his eyes were twin topaz, golden and brown. Now in this paragraph, they are telling us about the brown wolf. They are telling us about an animal which was a wolf, and they are saying that in build and coat means in his body structure. According to his body structure, he looked like a timber wolf. Timber wolf, what is timber wolf? A timber wolf is a variety of wolf which has a grey coat and is mostly found in the northern region of North America. But in his color, he advertised himself as a dog. Advertised himself as a dog means show clearly that he was a dog according to his color. No wolf was ever colored like him. Means the color of that dog, that wolf, or we can say that dog, resembles him as a wolf. Resembles him as a dog, but his body frame said that he was a timber wolf. He was brown, deep brown, or we can say the mixture of different browns. His eyes were topazes, golden and brown. Means topaz, what is topaz? Topaz is a semi-precious stone which is clear yellow in color. They are saying that his eyes look like topaz. Para number 2. Walt Irwin and Madge loved the dog very much. Perhaps this was because it had been such a task to win his love. When he had arrived at their mountain cottage from nowhere, he had proved to be very unsociable. He had resented all their advances and had refused to let them touch him. Nevertheless, he had stayed there as he was tired and famished. But when he had recovered, he simply disappeared. In para number 2, they are saying that Walt Irwin and Madge loved the dog very much because it was very difficult task to win his love. And here it is also being told that when this dog arrived their mountain cottage from somewhere, it was very unsociable. Unsociable means not liking to meet people or interact with them. Means he was not in a social manner. He did not like to meet other new peoples. He resented all their advances. Resented all their advances means disliked all their efforts. Here it's being told that at first that dog did not like any efforts of Walt Irwin and Madge to touch him or to be friendly with him. Nevertheless, as he was very hungry, famished means hungry. As he was very hungry and tired, he stayed there for some time, but when he recovered, he simply disappeared from there. Para number 3. And this would have been the end of him if Walt had not spotted him along the railway line and brought him back to the cottage. Walt then got a metal plate made on which was written, "Return to Walt Irwin, Glen Ellen, Sonoma County, California, and attached it to a collar strapped about the dog's neck. So, every time he disappeared, he was caught and returned. In para number 3, they are telling us that this dog would have not returned to them, but Walt spotted the dog along the railway line and brought him back to his cottage. Walt also got a strap collar made for the dog, and it had a metal plate attached to it on which it was written returned to Walt Ivan and Glen Ellen, Sonoma County, California. It was written on that metal plate. So, whenever the dog used to run away from their place, he was caught and returned to them. Para number 4. The remarkable thing was his disappearing was that every time he fled, he went north. Homing instinct was what Walt thought about it. Now, in this para number 4, it's being told that it's very surprising that every time this dog about whom this lesson is written, this dog used to disappear in north direction only. Walt thought that it was a homing instinct. Homing instinct means a natural feeling that takes animals or birds to their homes of original living places. After a futile year of many flights, he decided to remain at the cottage. But even after that, a long time went by before Walt and Madge succeeded in getting close to him. It was a great victory for them, for they alone were allowed to touch him. If anyone else tried, they were greeted with an angry growl that would turn into a frightening snarl, and snarling was all the sound he made. No one had ever heard him bark even once. Now, para number 5 is telling us that after a long time, after years of futile efforts, or we can say years of futile flights, running away, unsuccessful running away, the dog decided that to stay at the cottage, and it took him a long time to be friendly with Walt and Madge, and it was a great success for Walt and Madge because they were the only one who could touch the dog. If anyone else tried to do so, they were greeted with growling sound or snarl which was made by the dog. And here it's also being told that nobody ever heard that dog bark. He only used to snarl. As Walt and Madge walked along the country road one morning, with Wolf trailing behind, they heard a crunching of heavy feet. A few minutes later, a man came into view around the turn of the trail. What is the meaning of trail? Trail means a path through the countryside. Here, in this para, it's being said that one morning, as Walt and Madge were walking along the country road, and the dog was trailing behind them, they heard a crunching of heavy feet, and after a few minutes, a man came in front of them. "Warm day," Walt greeted him. The man paused and nodded. "I guess I ain't used much to the warm," he said, half apologetically. "I'm more accustomed to zero weather." Now here in line number 7, 8 and 9, there's a conversation between Walt and the person who has arrived in front of them. Walt greeted him and said it's a warm day, but the person replied that stopped and replied that he was not meant for this weather. He was accustomed means he used to stay. he has adopted the atmosphere of zero weather. Zero weather means where very cold weather where the temperature is at 0 degree or below. He told them, "You don't find any of that in this country." Walt laughed. Then, hearing this, that this man lives in a zero weather condition, Walt laughed and said that, and you will not find that zero weather in this country anywhere. "Should say not," the man answered, "and I ain't here looking for it either. I'm trying to find my sister. Maybe you know where she lives. Her name's Johnson's, Mrs. William Johnson's." Now, when Walt started laughing at this, that man answered that, "I should not say this, but I'm not looking for that weather over here. I'm here to look for my sister." He said that, "I'm looking for Mrs. William Johnson, sorry." That's all for today. Thank you and have a good day.